Hey, boredom, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to do a very special album review. And that would be 五月天 with. Shoot, I forgot to write down the title of the album. 神的孩子也在跳舞. Okay, here we go. 神的孩子都在跳舞. And in English, it means the children of God are also dancing, or are all dancing. So I have reviewed 4 local albums already, 2 canto pop and 2 canto rock albums, including Jason Chan, Eason Chan, Supper Moment, and Dear Jane. And in all 4 of these albums, 3 of them are also incredibly boring, and they keep on falling into the same boring, plain, overused, overplayed cliches every single time. It's so generic, it's so frustrating. Even though their albums are not terrible by any means, it's still a very frustrating listen. And then we have Eason's Chan album, which is very old as far as canto pop music goes. Dates all the way back to the early 2000s, and it's actually kind of fun. It has some experimental moments here and there, but none of them worked out all that well. And so I decided to venture even further, a little deeper into the local stuff. But this time I'm not even going to talk about music from my own country. This time I'm going to be talking about a music album from Taiwan. This band, 五月天, or in English, Mayday, and by the way, it's awesome because in Chinese, 五月 means, or in Mandarin, 五月 means May, and Tian means day. So in English, it is literally May Day. So this is actually a really smart band title, I have to say. Very smart band name. And aside from that, 五月天 is also one of the more popular non-Hong Kong bands in Hong Kong. A lot of people listen to it. I know a lot of people around me, a lot of my schoolmates are big fans of Mayday. So I decided to check out their most critically acclaimed album of all time, also their most popular one, 神的孩子都在跳舞. Now, Mandarin is not my first nor second language, in my opinion, so I'm gonna be a little rusty on some Mandarin here. Okay, forgive me, okay? I was pleasantly surprised with this album, honestly. Now, this album isn't great or anything. It still has flaws, but to my surprise, it doesn't fall into the very dumb, boring, generic cliches that a lot of the albums in Hong Kong fall into. Instead, they are a very straightforward alt-rock band that is, again, similar to maybe canto rock music. They still make music that's a little formulaic, the guitars, the drums, the vocals, the usual tones. They write a lot of love songs, that's true, but their approach to this kind of rock music is slightly more original and also engaging than a lot of the canto rock that I've heard in my entire life. Their performances and their instrumentals are usually soft and safe, but in return, welcoming, heartwarming, wholesome. Mayday is a wholesome band, let me tell you that. And so, honestly, I enjoy a majority of the tracks on this album. The album starts off with Sūn Wú Kòng, and the English translation is literally Sūn Wú Kòng. I cannot translate this because Sūn Wú Kòng, or Sūn Wú Kòng, is a name. It is a character in a very, very famous classic novel in the classical Chinese period, aka like a long time ago, back in the Qing dynasty, I guess. Shoot, man, my Chinese history knowledge is not as rich, so I kind of forgot when was Journey to the West written. But Sūn Wukong is a character from a novel called 西游记 or 西游记 or Journey to the West, which is one of the big 4 novels in Chinese history. We have 水浒傳、紅樓夢、三國演義. I still got it. So this is a very interesting album opener because it starts off with these Arabic flavored instrumentals, which definitely catches my attention, and then afterwards it transitions into a very fun and fiery alt-rock jam with an incredibly infectious and catchy chorus. And yes, it is secretly a love song. They still managed to tie the themes of love into the themes in the novel of Journey to the West, and it's hilarious and it's really creative. The second track is Quoc Keng. Yeah, that is the Cantonese way of saying it. Juè Jiàng, I don't know, man. Leave me alone. And in English, it's Stubborn, and this is their most famous song. In fact, in Form 3, there was a music class that we all had to take. It's mandatory for all students. And this song is one of the 3 songs that we could choose to sing and for this singing exam. And we're in groups, so it's like a group singing exam thing. And yeah, this song is actually good. This song is actually pretty damn good. It has these heartwarming guitar arpeggios, and the chorus has this arena-sized sing-along quality, at the same time very catchy. I like the very dense guitars on this track, and this track just doesn't fall into these cliches at all. Even though it's not fiery, it's not explosive, it's very much the mid-paced alt-rock jam that everybody's familiar with. It doesn't fall into the cliches, and it's actually pretty great. I actually kind of like the chorus. It's still ringing in my head after listening to it. The third track, 辣计车 or Garbage Truck, starts off with these curious strings, and then afterwards it transitions into a very smooth guitar tune. Now, yes, this track sounds a little more stagnant, a little bit more bland, but still, it's not bad at all. Also, the vocals with the very thick Taiwanese accent is kind of gives a bit of a personality to this track, which is really nice. When I first heard this track, I'm like, are they singing in Mandarin? It sounds like Mandarin, but it's really weird. And I saw the lyric video. Turns out it's really Mandarin, but in a thick Taiwanese accent. I also really like the guitar tones of this track as well. The fourth track, Xiao Wu Shi, or Little Nurse, is a very fun satirical rock jam which compares being lovesick to being actually sick. Like, they would make comparisons like, you love her so much, you drink a lot, now your liver is damaged, so the nurse tells you to drink less, and there are lyrics like that all over the track, and it's really, really funny. The album takes a little bit of a nosedive on the next 2 tracks. We have 让我照顾你, or Let Me Take Care of You. And the official English translation of this track is weird, but it means Let Me Take Care of You. And it's a pretty plain piano guitar song. The verses and the choruses sound pretty similar, and overall not that memorable of a track. And then we have the track John Lennon, Yuè Hàn Lán Nóng. And John Lennon is pretty much a track about John Lennon. It's a tribute to John Lennon. We get these very fun descending guitar riffs in the beginning, which is really nice. And the lyrics is a little weird. The song started off with, in that winter, that bullet gave you freedom, that bullet set you free, which, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a weird way to put it when it comes to someone being assassinated, but okay. The melodies are a little stiff on this track as well. Then we have the track 回来吧, or Come Back, and it's this tongue-in-cheek slow jam with very soft hi-hats, expressive vocals, nostalgic guitar riffs, and the whole track actually works together really well, and structurally it works as well. And we also have the track 错错错, or Wrong Wrong Wrong, And this track has these pulsating keyboards, loud pianos that are mixed so loud, I don't know why. And the hooks and the choruses are very forgettable. And this track is easily the weakest track on the entire album. However, the album still ends off pretty strongly. We have 晚安地球人, or Good Night Earthlings. And like the title suggests, this track is a very environmentally conscious track, which is amazing. Where the track starts off with these African tribal sounds, or at least tribal sounds. Let's not make stereotypes here. And then afterwards we have lyrics about disasters on Earth, natural disasters, man-made disasters, and how it brought about a lot of inconvenience, at least, and tragedies at most to humanity. I like the simplistic drums, and the guitars work really, really well. The track Superman, or Ciāo Rén, is a bit of a sad piano ballad that sort of falls into the sappy, sloppy cliche a little bit. It's not terrible, but again, not all that memorable. We also have an interlude, and the last track of the album, 圣诞夜惊魂, or the Christmas Eve horrors. And surprisingly, this is a very fun, crazy, wacky ending to the album. Raggedy riffs, raggedy guitar riffs and bass riffs on this track, amazing. The chorus is festive flavored, and overall it's a really fun alt rock track with hilarious lyrics. And it's just surprising that they would, finish off the album with such a wacky song, but here we are. So yeah, overall I'm pleasantly surprised. Again, there are tracks on this thing that are a little boring, a little generic, a little stagnant here and there, but I think overall a majority of the tracks here are wholesome, heartwarming guitar jams, alt rock tunes that have some really smartly and humorously written lyrics, great performances, and I'm liking it. Surprisingly, I'm giving Mayday's or 五月天的神的孩子都在跳舞 decent 7 out of 10. My favorite track here is Stubborn, and my least favorite is Wrong, Wrong, Wrong. So, have you listened to this Mayday album from 1 to 10? How much you rate it, like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. I will review Taylor Swift later, and then I will review JJ Lin from Singapore, and then The Avalanches, and then that's it for the album reviews of the year. And then from December 21st on, I will start my list week, so have that to look forward to. Boop.